the locker room.
I know. It's perfect timing.
I don't know if you were next to Mac Jones afterwards, but there seemed to be a real kind of sense of relief on his face and his demeanor. I mean, what was he like on the sideline? Can you just talk about the kind of the roller coaster of emotions you guys must have felt?
Yeah, no. I mean, Mac was great the whole time. Obviously, you know, I'm sure he was feeling, you know, you don't want to throw a pick when you're a quarterback, so I'm sure he was feeling the pressure of that. I know he was a little banged up. You know, he was kind of trying to limp his way through the rest of that game. But, you know, I felt that sense of relief as well. It looked like we gave one away, and we just stuck to it. Guys made plays when they needed to, and we found a way to get it done there at the end.
Kyle, when you look at kind of these past 3 weeks, winning these grimy games, so many new faces on this team, a lot of shuffling due to injury. What does it say about what this team has built so far in terms of chemistry together?
I think it says so much. You know, this team is not – it's not what it's going to be yet. We're still trying to figure out who we are as well. And like you said, it's been gritty, it's been grimy, but we found ways to win. And you always want to be able to try and figure things out and still finish with a win. We know we're not a finished product, but we're going to continue to grow. And right now we're doing that as 3-0 and 2-0 in our division. So that's a good place to be.
How do you feel Mac has done so far, specifically today?
I thought Mac did a great job. Did a great job in the huddle, commanding the troops. Great job getting in and out. You know, led the game-winning drive, and I felt like he was decisive out there. You know, he had a little bit of pressure at times, but I feel like he steps into his throws, is confident, and does his thing. So I got all the faith in the world in Mac.
For the season, outside the building, there was a lot of concern about Christian because of all the games he missed last year and the amount of blows he takes just at the position. And he got hit a ton today.
Definitely.
But even at the end, he had something left. What does that say just about what you expect from him?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I trained with Christian in the offseason, and I'm telling you, there is nobody on this planet that trains like Christian McCaffrey. I'm telling you, he put absolutely everything into getting back to his form for this season. I mean, that guy literally 6 to 7 days a week from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. He has a trainer with him 24/7. He was grinding, and you're seeing that pay off. And quite honestly, it's needed for, like you said, the amount of touches this guy gets. He gets tackled 30 times a game. I can't imagine. I get tackled once a game and I'm sore. So, man, it's just a testament to his work ethic and his dedication. And he's always got a little something left in the tank. No matter how many times he got hit there, he had that huge screen at the end of the game to put us in good field goal position. And that's a guy that we're going to call on in those type of situations because the whole team, Kyle, has all the faith in the world in him because he's one of the best football players on this planet. It was easy. Thanks, guys.
Gut-out kind of wins, and you've had a lot of new faces, a lot of shuffling with injury. Kind of what does it say about the identity this team is finding that you've been able to get these out?
Yeah, super gritty. Great win. And before I answer your question, first want to say, my prayers are with guys who went down in the game. Obviously on their side, I think James Conner went down, and then hoping the best for Nick and seeing what that news is. But yeah, I think it just speaks to how gritty our team is. We got a team full of fighters who are willing to go the distance all 4 quarters and some if we need it. But we're calling on a lot of guys who probably didn't know that they were going to be needed as much as they have been. And so just extremely proud of the group and finding ways to win, and we'll just continue to try to get better and keep finding ways to win.
What would it mean if you do miss Nick for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's one of our best players, right? So it would be a huge loss. But like I said, hoping the best with the news.
Brett, kind of following up on that, Alfred, CJ, and Michael had a huge stop. I know Siegel had a huge stop on Murray. And then Stout, obviously, the breakup at the end. What does it speak about these young guys really stepping up and filling in these huge roles?
Yeah, no, I think it speaks to the work that they've all put in and their maturity. I got to give it to them and the way that they've prepared and which has allowed them to come in and be ready for their moments. They don't play like rookies. They're coming in and week out, making these big-time plays, and we're going to need them to continue to do so.
After the safety, you guys, as a defense, go back out there. You got to get a stop quick, get the ball back. Just what was the key to that possession and getting the ball back for your offense?
Yeah, no, I mean, that was it right there. I think we knew that if we couldn't get off the field on that drive, that the game would probably pretty much be sealed, given where the time in the game and the amount of timeouts we had left. So Upton Stout came up with a huge, big-time PBU there on that deep throw and gave our offense a chance.
First of all, congrats on baby number 2.
Thank you.
And sorry to go from that to this, but like you said, there's a lot of uncertainty with Nick right now. But during that moment, what was kind of your messaging to the team, or Salah's messaging to the team during that time?
Yeah, I hadn't really found out about Nick being out this game until around halftime, and unfortunately we know too well about guys going down and next man up mentality, right? So other guys had to fill in and play big time minutes for us and find a way to get the job done.
What's it like playing next to Winters, seeing him just kind of every week he's like kind of really emerging?
Yeah, it's so fun. I'm so happy for D, and again, the work that he's put in to be ready for his moment in these first 3 games, and he's just scratching the surface of what he's capable of doing, right? Like he's got that big playability in his body, to make the interceptions and force fumbles and sacks and all these other things that we're going to see as the weeks go on. And, just to see a player who plays with as much speed, violence, coming down the flat, making these big tackles, bro, it's unbelievable to see. So we're going to need him to continue to just get better every week. Thanks, guys.
Hello.
The 2 catch, what you saw, how that one developed.
The what?
The 4th and 2 catch down the sideline.
Oh yeah. From there it was just I seen the corner pressed up on me. He was playing real inside leverage, and as I was releasing, I was coming off my release and just kind of reading the DB, and he stayed inside. So I just took the outside release, and Mac put it on the money on the sideline and ended up making the catch on my helmet. I didn't see that until they showed the instant replay.
Yeah, Kyle said it was kind of dicey. Did you have it?
I have no idea. I didn't see the entire replay. I just knew it was in my hands when, I thought I caught it. So I didn't get to see if I had full maintain of the ball. But yeah, I think it was a catch.
Those look difficult as it is, but are they harder than people even think because you've got the helmet there sort of blocking as the ball is descending?
Yeah, probably personally for me, I probably should turn my hands around, jump up and go make a play with my hands. But, I was just trying to read it over my shoulder. And, when you play day games like that, sometimes the sun gets in your eyes. And I couldn't really see the ball until it got really close to me. And then as it got close to me, I just, turned my hands that way and ended up making the catch regardless. So, I don't think it's really a problem unless you don't make the catch.
What's the mentality on that last drive? Is there a feeling of inevitability that you guys are going to win this? Or is there, oh gosh, one play at a time thing?
Yeah, I always think that we're going to win it, honestly. I always have hope. I'm always optimistic about it. And, when we get the ball and we got 2 minutes left and we're driving down the field, I have all the confidence in the world and, in Mac and the entire offense to go out down there and, win the game for us. And I think it really shows, what kind of team we have to be able to go through adversity the entire game as an offense and be able to put up points at the end to win the game. Yeah, shout out to Eddie, too.
You had 13 targets today. What can you say about your confidence level and your Kyle Shanahan's trust in you?
No, for sure. I think, I'm building more and more confidence. The more I'm playing, the more I'm practicing and getting reps in the offense. And I like to hear that number a lot. 13 targets, pretty good. But, yeah, I think my confidence is, always going to be there for me. I'm very confident in my route running ability, to create separation and make the play when when the ball's thrown my way.
Did Mac say anything at the start of that last drive there, or did he just come out and business as
usual?
Yeah.
He was on the sideline and he was throwing the ball to some of the equipment guys, warming up his arm again to go back out there on the game-winning drive. And he just looked at me. I looked at him, and he was like, "Let's do this." And I was like, "Yeah, let's go." So I already knew what time it was for Mac. He was really locked in. He was amped up, and I'm super excited for him.
Those lines, what do you think of his game today and just kind of how he stepped up?
Yeah, I think he did a really good job. Being put in that situation. This entire offense is really new to him. He just got here this last summer, and to be a quarterback where you really have to know where everybody's at on the field at the same time, you have a different game plan each and every week. I just want to give all the credit in the world to Mac because, that's really a difficult situation to be into. And, he's doing a really good job stepping up, making plays, bringing that energy that we need in the huddle for the guys to build off. And then, in the 2-minute drive down the field to win the game. That's, that just shows the kind of man he is and what he's about.
Ricky, you had said after week 1 that was your first real week 1. How much fun have you been having these last few weeks, just being able to go out there?
I have fun every day, especially when KB's out there with me. We're constantly dancing. But yeah, no, I'm having a great time. I'm super blessed, super happy to be in the situation I am. Especially considering the situation, what I had to go through last year, being able to, wake up every day and, just be thankful the day that is to come and, being able to get in this locker room with these guys like them and, and being around great coaches. It's, there's a lot of things to be happy and excited about each and every day. And I wake up and I just remind myself that every single day because, there's a lot to be thankful for.
You just mentioned KB. What's your guys' relationship kind of like, and how has it grown since he's got here?
Yeah, I feel like I've known the dude for a long time, but I've really only known him for like a week. He's a great dude. He's always smiling and laughing, and that's what I'm about. He's one of those energy guys, good dudes to be around. And you're gonna hear him when you're in the meeting room with him, when you're in the huddle with him, and it just makes me play more free too as well. We're just enjoying the game, and that's what it's about.
You know you were getting the ball a lot today. You knew there was no JJ in the pregame. What was going through your mind in pregame?
Yeah, I try to, have that mindset where I always think I'm getting the ball. You got to have that mindset because you never know when the ball actually get thrown your way. And if you're not thinking that way, then that opportunity is going to pass you. So, I always have that mindset. Obviously we didn't have JJ, so, I knew the circumstances of it. And I was going to get more opportunities to make plays and just to expand on those.
Basically, last one here. Proven that it doesn't really matter who's at quarterback. Be ready for the ball and be able to contribute at a high level. Was there anything different that you had to do to adjust to Mac when that change was made?
No, there was nothing to adjust in my game. With Kyle Shanahan's offense, we got to be in the right spots during the right time of the quarterback. And for me, it's just being in that window. When my name's called and when the timing comes and the coverage is what it is. And I think, getting more and more reps with Mac, the more comfortable we're getting with each other. But, like you said, I don't think it really matters, what quarterback it is for me. It's just getting to those right spots at the right time just to make it easier for the quarterback to throw the ball to me.
All right, thanks, Ricky.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. God bless.
For either of you or both of you, actually, you guys have gutted out some tough games here in the last 3 games. You guys are still finding your identity, a lot of shuffling around. What does it kind of say about the fabric of this team that you've been able to do that?
You got it. All right. No, I think anytime you open up 3-0, with 2 division games, that's a big deal. I think the best part about it is we're definitely just not satisfied with how we're playing. But to not be satisfied and still find ways to grit out some wins is a huge deal. It's a 4-quarter game, and we know that. We got a lot of, guys shuffling around, this and that. All those can be excuses, but at the end of the day, we've found some ways to win in the last 3 weeks, and today was a good example of that.
What do you guys think of Mac Jones's demeanor in the huddle today and throughout the summer?
I think he's been pretty good. I mean, he's not a spring chicken, you know what I'm saying? He done played some ball, and he done been in some really, intense games, intense atmosphere, and you can tell. So I think he's been wonderful the last couple of weeks in the huddle. Even when the stakes are high, he's still the same person.
On the team, and this is a question for both of you guys. You have a guy like Nick Bosa go down and then not return to the game, but then you have a younger core and the defense step up and make plays down the stretch to make sure that you guys, at least on the defensive side, win the game. Now you go into practice this week. What are you guys talking to them about if Nick Bosa is not able to suit up next week?
I don't know. I don't coach them, so I'm gonna let Chris Eric handle that. But anytime you lose a guy like Nick and he doesn't come back and his status is unknown, it's a real buzzkill. I can honestly say that, going down to win the game, to drive to win the game, I thought about Nick plenty of times while I was in the huddle. So, I'm just hoping, praying that we get some good news. But, it's cliche to say it's the next man up league. When you lose a guy like that, you need 3 or 4 guys to come and fill those shoes. So I think we got the depth and we got the youth. So, hopefully they can continue to improve.
You guys described the screenplay that set up the winning field goal there. Well, both of you, if you'd like.
I didn't do nothing.
No, it was a great call. Just a little under screen, and O-line did a great job blocking. Receivers did a great job blocking downfield, and made my job easy. And Eddie came in there, new to this team, and didn't blink and hit the game winner. So we were fired up for him.
There was so much talk before the season, I'm mostly on the outside, about concern for you and the mileage on your body and the injuries you took last year. And you've handled them all a lot the first 3 games. You get hit a lot today. It was a rough game. But I'm curious whether, do you take almost a perverse joy in taking these blows and getting back up and bouncing back up and playing?
No, I do not. No. I don't like getting hit. I don't want to get hit. But no, I mean, sometimes there's games where, you take a lot of shots. Sometimes there's not. But I feel great right now. And, once again, I think just the nature of the beast is sometimes when it rains, it pours. And I've been very fortunate in this league to have a lot of success. And I've had leagues or seasons that have been humbling. And, I've realized that it's better to not focus on anything but what you can control in the moment and continuing to grow and get better every week.
What was it like in the first home game to have your daughter here and be able to play in front of her?
That was amazing. Yeah, I mean, giving her a hug and a kiss before the game, it meant a lot.
Christian mentioned Eddie. Just you guys have been through some things, kicker, without saying it's reality. What's it been like to have him here, and what was the confidence level when he was approaching that kick?
I mean, you don't have any choice. Like you said, you got to control what you control. We can't control whether he make it or not. We've been around him. I mean, we're confident in him. So when he walks out there, I'm pretty confident that we're going to win the game. So especially after the screenplay and my dog set up, which I ain't do nothing. But yeah, I was really confident seeing him jog onto the field. Obviously, it not being a 56-yard, field goal that obviously helped, but. He's on the team. There's no reason to doubt him. I mean, we don't have any other choice, so he got our full confidence.
Last year, you guys had a tough time winning these close games. What's different this year?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think just winning takes all 3 phases and all 4 quarters, and great teams find ways to win when you might not play your best. And I think with a lot of guys out, like we said before, and a lot of guys having to step up and just finding ways to get it done. I think our defense stepped up big today, bailed us out a lot. First half, it felt like a weird half. A couple 3-and-outs early, not a lot of time of possession, and you just never know. Momentum is a weird thing, and like I said, it was just great that we found a way to win.
Well, Ricky and going out there.
Ricky's a beast.
First round pick, man. I don't know how that should surprise anybody, but his rookie season was derailed by something that he couldn't control. So, I mean, it's a blessing just to see him out there playing the best we've seen him play. I mean, obviously, he's a quarterback's safety blanket. So, Ricky's a baller, bro, and we always knew that from day one. Obviously, it got off to a rough start, but I mean. I think he's going to cement himself as, one of the top receivers in the league here soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All righty.
Hello?
The 4th and 2 pass to Pearsall.
Yeah.
What were your options on that play, and what were you thinking as you're letting it go?
Yeah, it was my alert on the play, and we don't really throw it that often, so it was just a great catch. I don't know how he caught that, but it was a great play, and he did a great job in the game. He was open a lot. I could have hit him even more, so I'll watch the tape and see how I can get him the ball more. But Ricky did a great job.
And you hurt well, I don't know what the extent of the knee was, but you came out with a brace. Just wondering how many less hoop conversations you had to have with yourself to get out there and finish this game through the pain that you were,
One second. Sorry, I had music on. I was like, is that on? I heard your question, though, yeah. So I had a little injury that I just re-aggravated, and I'm good. I took the brace off because I wasn't moving around very well, and then put it back on after that. But yeah, I felt like it affected my play a little bit, which I was disappointed about. Like I could have just been tougher, and it was affecting my reads and everything. So anyways, finish the game out and just going to do treatment, and I should be good. So.
That's my question is, like, how hard was it to fight through that and how rewarding to
Yeah.
be able to get the win?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, anytime you're fighting through stuff, like I know everybody has my back, and the offensive line did a great job this game keeping me clean for the most part, and just to be able to come together at the end and finish, like we talked about on the sideline, like, hey, we got nothing to lose, let's go get it, and the players made plays, so it was awesome, to be honest.
What can you say about your defense to keep you guys in this game?
For sure. Like, I mean, they're the only reason we were in it, to be honest. They kept making plays and getting the ball back, and really an explosive offense, an explosive quarterback, and Kyler Murray, and they did a great job, and Fred and everybody just having a plan and executing the plan. So really thankful to have that. And as a quarterback, when you know that in the back of your head, you know you have a chance. So and when you don't, it's hard because you sometimes press and stuff. But they did a good job.
After the interception and into the safety, how were you able to reset yourself for that last drive and deliver what you guys needed there?
Yeah, I've failed a lot in that situation, to be honest, in the NFL. And I just know the guys have my back. And like we talked about on the sideline, let's go out there and rip it, and just one play at a time, and erase everything that happened. Like the 2 plays before or whatever were my fault. And but just to give your team a chance to win. And offensive line blocked really well. KB had a couple good catches. Everybody was lined up. The process and execution was great. So that's all you can ask for. And Eddie made a great kick at the end. And Christian, obviously, on the screen, getting those extra yards is huge. And it was a screen that I hadn't really run before. And I was like, Christian, what is this again? So he reminded me, and he's like, oh, I was like, oh, yeah, I got you. So that was bad by me. I got to know exactly what it is. But it was great to see that happen.
What do you think about running no huddle at the end of a half in the game?
I love it. I've always been good at it or whatever, and like I said, I enjoy it because I think it takes thinking out of it, and you just go out there and play, and you get into a rhythm, and I feel like we've done a good job trying to double up between the end of the half and this third quarter. I feel like we can do a better job, obviously, in the third quarter part, but 2 minute into half and into game are just two different things, and your mindset's the same. You're trying to run the play that's called, and you're not trying to chase the play. You know, you need a touchdown or a field goal, but you just got to take it one play at a time.
You've connected for some really big plays the last couple.
Go ahead. I'll get you next.
Have connected for some big plays over the last couple weeks. How have you guys developed that chemistry so relatively
You said
quickly?
Ricky? Yeah. Honestly, I got a lot of reps with Ricky in OTAs and training camp. Just he was kind of hurt and was working back in and stuff, so got a lot of reps with him. And I love watching him in college. I'm like a secret fan of him always because I just enjoyed his tape and like watching him on highlights. So he's a really fast guy. He's really twitchy, and then has straight line speed, and then his cuts, in and out of his cut speed is really, really good. Probably the best I've seen. And he just does a good job on those in-breakers and then out-breakers too. And then that catch at the end was amazing. So he's a guy who just makes plays.
Front row seat basically to watch what Christian does. And as much as we've seen him, or I don't know if we've seen him get hit as many times as he got hit today hard.
Yeah.
And he just keeps getting back up. What's it like from your vantage point to watch this?
Yeah, we were just like both in the cold tub next to each other just watching. I was asking him, like, you took a lot of hits. He's like, yeah, I'll be good though. And he's just tough. Like he'll be out there and practicing, and that's just who he is. And he takes care of his body, the best I've ever seen every day. And I've learned a lot about the body and what you need to do to get ready for the next game being around him. But yeah, he's really tough, and he did a great job. We had a couple plays where, we weren't on the same page for various reasons, but at the same time, I know he's my safety blanket. I can just throw it to him, and he'll get you between 6 and 15 yards every time.
Just having him on the field with you raise your confidence level?
Yeah, it does. I mean, he's one of the best players in the NFL, so you look around in the huddle and you have confidence, and he's Christian McCaffrey. I don't know how to describe it. It's just that he's there and he's going to make plays and he's going to hold on to the ball. He's not going to turn it over. And then the offensive line's giving him some good holes. I know the run games, we're still working through some stuff, but they're doing a good job. Like we're doing what we need to do.
Brock knows this offense probably pretty well. How much does he help you throughout the week in your preparation?
A lot. Brock's played a lot of football in this offense, and he's done a great job just being there for me during the games, but also giving me my space, like just let me do my thing. So I appreciate that. And every day in the meetings, like he'll be like, hold on, like, is this what we're doing on this play? So he'll speak up and make sure that we're good on everything. And that's because he's been through it. He knows what works, what doesn't. and he wants to win. He wants the team to win, and that's why he's a team captain and a leader. So he's done a great job rehabbing and stuff, and I know he was out there for a good amount last week, so I hope he's back.
Going into that last drive, you had targeted Christian and Ricky a lot. Did you have a sense that Arizona was maybe trying to take those guys away and you were able to spread it around a little bit more, or is that just kind of the way it broke down?
Yeah, they did some good stuff. I mean, they got 2 really good players at safety there and a tough scheme, so they were doing some things, but I mean, they mostly just spin the dial. Like, they never called the same play twice, to be honest. Like, they were just spinning it, whether that's to confuse the quarterback or the play caller or whatever. So it's good for them. They have a good scheme, but I felt like Christian and Ricky and really everybody just did their job for the most part. And like Tonjes just start that drive to hit him on the little quick one. Like, we never hit that. And for him to be ready and catch it and get vertical to start the drive was huge. So just little stuff like that.
Even on the interception, like you throwing that, is that your trust in Ricky?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I threw it right to the guy, so it wasn't like he made a good play. I mean, good for him. He caught it, like, awesome. But like, it was the technically second part of my read, and I took a hitch to it and ripped it. I don't know. And he was standing right there, so I just got to get off of it. And I had an outlet down the sideline. That would have been my, like, second part of the read. So could definitely do that or just throw it over his head and maybe play 4th down or whatever, try and kick a field goal. I know it was pretty far at that point. But yeah, you never want to do that, but at the end of the day, like, I did rip it and committed to my throw, so I won't take that one back.
A little bit about Ricky already, but just what can you say or expand on about just his performance so far this season and just how he continues to stack all these really impactful games?
Yeah, I mean, Ricky, like, he runs fast every day, so he's never, like, taking reps off, taking plays off. He runs every route, and it looks the exact same. It's 100%, whether that's, like, a walkthrough or the end of practice. Like, he's a guy who could easily be like, all right, I'm just going to kind of jog on this one. But I think it sets the standard for that room. Him being a young player and playing a lot of football already, just like he goes out there and works, and that's what you see on Sunday. So he's just got to keep doing that. And I feel like the guys in the room, there's some old guys and young guys, but they all have a standard that they play to, and I really appreciate those guys.
I apologize for making you repeat this, but earlier you said it was something that you failed at in your career. What specifically, I mean, were there moments in New England?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of, like, potential game-winning drives or whatever, and a lot of quarterbacks have, but I've done well in them, and I've done pretty bad in them too. So I really was just motivated to change the narrative, and, like, this team, I feel like they have my back, and I got to be able to do that when I'm stepping in the game. And like I said, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just go out there and let it fly. And obviously didn't play great the whole game, but at least gave us a chance at the end, and the guys around me just made plays. So, yeah, not to look in the past, but, like, I did think about that and just took a deep breath and just kind of blanked everything and said, all right, let's play a new game here and go down there and score. So, cool. Thanks.